All right, good morning, everyone. So in today's video, what I'm going to be doing is breaking down a trade that I took this morning on euro dollar. Okay, so what I have pulled up here is the weekly chart, and we can see here we've been bullish on euro. Okay, and so for intermarket analysis, I was also using the dollar chart, and I was also using pound dollar chart. Okay, so when I go over to the dollar on a weekly, we can see dollar is trending lower. So since dollar is trending lower, we can expect for euro to be on a buy program or to be trending higher. Okay, so the draw on liquidity for this week. So before this week opened, I did my weekly analysis this weekend, and I saw where we had already taken out this long-term low right here on dollar. And so what I was anticipating for this week here is for us to get some form of a classic sell program where we would get a down close candle for this week, and our long-term draw will be down here. So this is the low that was created on Monday, July 10th last year. Okay, so that's the long-term sell side draw on liquidity. And I'll put my drawings up here on dollar. You can see here, this is what I had already annotated and drawn out. Okay, so the key level is the previous week low. So that's, I have PDL, but that's actually a PWL now. So there's a previous week low down here. That's the initial draw on liquidity. And then long term, we have these relative equal lows down here. Okay. So with dollar bringing in lower prices, I was expecting euro to be bringing in higher prices. So now I'll clear this chart out and go back over to the euro. Okay. So with euro, okay, so what are we leaving? Okay, so basically we're leaving behind these weekly inefficiencies. Our most recent one is right here between this candle high and this candle low. We have a weekly buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. And from there is what I'm basing this buy program on to target our external range liquidity at this high that was formed July 17th of last year. Okay, so that's the long-term draw. We don't have to get all the way up there. Um, a more recent draw on liquidity will be the high that was formed the week of September 16th, 2024. So that was last week. So that's what I'm aiming for. This high, and also we have these relative equal highs here. So this is the week of August 26th of this year, and this is the week of August 19th of this year. So this is the magnet, which is essentially drawing price higher. Okay, so we have our weekly level, and here's the annotation for that. And I could take this daily order block off, but that was also something that I was taking note of at some point in time. So right there, that's that weekly buy side imbalance that I was talking about. We priced down into that, created this long wick to the upside, letting me know that that price level was being respected, and then price continued to go up higher. Okay, so long term here, like I said, I mean, we've been trending higher. I've gone over euro dollar and pound dollar in some of my previous videos. This is pretty easy price action. I mean, it's the ending of a long term buy program. We're already above equilibrium of our current range, high to low. Okay, so once we cleared this high here, and this high basically formed a breaker, and then we had this basically like a long-term unicorn model, but we had a weekly breaker right here, and then we had this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, and from there we can expect the price to spool higher relatively quickly and not get back down into discount of this range. So now I'll drop down to the daily and I'll clear some of this out. All right, so on the daily, um, we can see here most recently that we have a daily buy side imbalance, sell side efficiency here, and we have a daily buy side imbalance, sell side efficiency here. Now, the one that price has just used most recently was actually this one here, but it dipped down as low as this one here. So I'll go ahead and flash my annotations up on the screen here now, and I'll zoom in a bit to get more relevant. Okay, so we have a dealing range here on the daily, which is why I have this GAN box, which I've modified to show premium and discount levels. So the dark gray shaded area is premium, the green area is discount, and essentially all I needed here was for a discount level to be left behind, and then for some buy side liquidity to be left intact that I can target for my long position. Okay, so we have our daily buy side balance, sell side efficiency here that I was using to key off price action for today or for this morning. And so basically, what we had is price dip down lower. It went to it and through it. So we know the wicks do the damage and the bodies tell the story or the narrative. And so once this candle body closed or yesterday, or once price action ended yesterday, before this day even opened, we had this intermediate term low right here. And so I was expecting for price to create an up close candle for the day. So now I'll drop down to my next time frame, which is a 4 hour. And so the 4 hour time frame, um, is not quite as pertinent as the daily, the weekly, and the 1 hour for framing my trade setup. But what we do have here, that I guess we could make use of is this daily buy side of balance, sell side efficiency also lines up with the 4 hour buy side of balance, sell side efficiency. We see price left that area, came back down, and so we have a gap here as well. And I'll take this off just so that can be clear. So this candle's between this candle's high and this candle's low, we have a 4 hour buy side of balance, sell side efficiency, which I wasn't really concerned about. I mean, I have the weekly and the daily clearly showing me that price action is headed up higher towards these highs right here. So this is you know, retail could see this as like a trend line where we could see price seem like it's going to continue to go lower. But I'm expecting price to just break through all of that. Okay. So now I'll drop down to the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so I was looking to get a nice hourly displacement from that daily buy side and balance, sell side and efficiency that I was talking about previously. So that's this blue rectangle right here. So we can see that we had a nice reaction here on the hourly basis from that level. And one other thing here as well, which gave me more confidence in the continuation of bullish price action on Eurodollar, is we had Asia session SMT with pound dollar. Okay, so we can see where Asia last night it created a low right here at 10 o'clock. And then what we have here on Euro is we have this low being kept intact. It didn't get swept. However, if I pull up GU or pound dollar, let's see. So right here, we'll zoom into what's most relevant. So we got this low here. Okay, so this low here is lower on pound dollar. So we had a sweep on pound dollar, and we didn't get that same sweep on euro dollar. So that shows a little bit of strength there in pound, at least for the London session. Okay, and we also had some high impact news at 4 o'clock this morning on euro, which confirmed, this this bullishness. Okay. So basically what I was looking at here is I was like, okay, well, everything is pointing in the direction of price action moving higher. Now, one key thing to note here as well is that, and I'll pull GU off now, is usually when I'm looking at these market maker models and I'm aligning my time frames to make sure they all match up. If I'm keying off of a daily level, which is right here, I like to see an hourly market structure shift. Now, for the types of market structure shifts I like to see whichever high created the low, I like to see that high be displaced. However, in this price action, it was a little different. We didn't get that high taken out, but I was very confident that that high would get taken out from this hourly BISI that was created right here from this short-term high that failed to get below this daily buy-side imbalance, sell-side inefficiency. So once that daily buy-side imbalance, sell-side inefficiency broke this short-term high, that was enough for me to say, okay, price action is going to continue to go up higher, and it's most likely going to draw towards this buy-side liquidity here. Okay, so keying off the daily level with an SMT with GU, a session-based SMT with GU, and then we also have the hourly time frame here, leaving a displacement above this short-term high. So now this is what I was watching this morning. Okay, so about 7 o'clock, I was looking to see how price action would behave inside this hourly buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. So the next time frame I dropped to is the 5 minute. And then I could see here where price just started to run. Okay. Price really just started to run. And so I really wanted to get in. um, and I normally like to wait till at least 8 o'clock. Sometimes I could get something as early as 7:50, catch that 7:50 to 8:10 macro. And that opportunity was available, but I didn't get in on that position. Instead, I waited for this short term high right here to be violated or to be ran through. Okay, and once we had that, it left behind this wick and then this up close candle and then this down close candle, which created an implied fair value gap. Okay, so that was my entry point right there. I entered right here on this down close candle. Okay, as price was moving back down into this implied fair value gap. And this gap, I was expecting to stay open for a bit. Okay. And it did stay open to get above this high. Okay. But then price came back down, swept this low, which is fine with me. That's actually something I like to see. That way, once I see this is swept, and then I see the next candle give me my change in the state of delivery, I know I can move my stop loss up, which is what I did. Move my stop up above here. Once this green candle right here closed at 9:55, I move my stop loss below that low, and then we can see what price action did from there. So I had a nice 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio on this trade. Um, and I mean, my target ultimately is up here, but my 1 to 2 risk to reward, which is what I'm looking to get out of my trades, was well within what I'm looking for price action to do. And so it was a nice trade. It was nice to get a nice I keep saying nice. But yeah, it was great to get a nice 1 to 2. It's been a while since I just held one all the way to take profit. Usually I take a partial or 80% partial at some short-term high, short-term low, or some, liquidity pool before my um my full target is met. So one other thing I do want to highlight in this trade is I also was, like I was saying before, I was watching pound dollar as well, and pound dollar has just been very animated. So pound dollar, okay, look at this. So I know this chart is a little busy, but I'll go out to the daily. So these highs that I'm looking to target, like, have already been taken out on pound dollar. Let's just go do a quick comparison here. So I'll actually pull this up like this so we can see. So this was just another confluence for me. Normally I do buy pound dollar over euro dollar, because pound tends to be a lot more animated, in its price moves. Like when it's trying to get somewhere, it gets there quickly. But we got euro kind of lagging behind. But what I was pointing out was this old high back here, which is similar, or it's in close proximity to this high here. But we can see where pound dollar has already taken out that high. Okay. And so when I see something like that happen, and then I also see that we had news this high impact news on Eurodollar this morning, and that news event was confirming bullishness for Eurodollar. I knew that Eurodollar was just essentially going to play catch up with pound dollar. So ICT coins it the six sister concept between two correlated assets. It's where when one asset is reaching towards a buy side or sell side liquidity objective or an old inefficiency, and one asset gets there a lot faster than the other one, oftentimes the correlated asset will play catch up in a sense. And so since we had more range, or we could play catch up on euro dollar, I was more willing to buy euro dollar over pound dollar this morning. Pound dollar is a little bit more in no man's land. It's not really in no man's land. It's not at all time highs or anything. It's just like I have a clearly defined objective within a market maker model. So I have a much more clear external range liquidity draw that's not so far back in time. Okay. So that was another reason why I bought euro dollar over pound dollar, along with the fact that euro was just kind of running without me this morning and I didn't want to play catch up with it. So yeah, that's it. I also have the video that I recorded this trade in. I took a trade. I took this trade on my both of my funding traders accounts, and the platform that I use is Trade Locker. So I'll go ahead and clip over to that video now.